Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Gargoyles episode reviews. Today we're looking at The Mirror. Demona's sick and tired of her plans being thwarted by meddling gargoyles. She's decided to bring in the big guns, namely one of the most powerful of Oberon's children, the Puck. That's right, the one from Midsummer Night's Dream by Shakespeare. He's no fairy, though. He's a dark elf. As if being made of pure magic wasn't enough, he's also a trickster's trickster. Don't turn your back, watch your wording, and be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Spoilers are in the 2020 moments. Info from Ask Greg. It's me according to Greg Bits. Season 2, Episode 5, The Mirror. Possible spoilers. Reason for existence. To drive home the theme that you should be careful what you wish for. To introduce the third race and Puck. To give Demona her new daytime form. And to explore Goliath and Elisa's relationship. Main antagonists. Demona and sort of Puck. Time, September 28th, 1995. See, we got another September episode. Busy month. Locations, New York City, New York. The Mirror. Museums do not fare well in this show. There's a picture of the, I believe it's the Museum of Modern Art again, like we saw in The Edge. According to Greg, this is Greg's favorite standalone episode. It has humor, action, and the introduction of a major new element in the Gargoyles universe, the Fae, Oberon's children. Previously, we get a recap of Elisa and Demona's run-ins. There's some serious rivalry here. Catfight doesn't begin to cover it. Now we know the episode will involve both of Goliath's love interests. We again see the temptation ending, where Demona rips spells from the Grimorum Arcanorum. I'm sorry, not sorry, but it really didn't look like she grabbed that many pages. I'm starting to lose count of how many episodes involve those couple pages. Alright, so right now we've got Reawakening, we've got this episode, City of Stone later on. Well, we'll keep watching and see what else we see. Mirror, mirror. We open on the MoMA in New York City. Demona is watching the lockup process from across the street. What's she planning? A little breaking and entering? It's a change of shift for the guards. The new exhibit is quite interesting for the oncoming guard. She checks herself out in the mirror. Hey, she looks familiar. A sound makes her turn from the mirror. The reflection doesn't move. What the magic? I'm not even surprised anymore. Yeah, it's Elisa. It's pretty obvious that's who the guard is. Demona crashes into the exhibit hall. The guard draws her gun. Demona's reaction is classic. Utter frustration and rage boil over in Marina Sirtis's voice acting. You, the most useless member of a craven, puny race. Tell us how you really feel. Don't forget, she stole your man. Demona grabs whatever artifacts are at hand and hurls them at Elisa. Goliath is on hand to catch them and save her. Elisa, that is. Aren't there cameras around? Where are the other cops? Is this just something Elisa thought up, like a hobby or something? I'm so confused. It's a nice look at Goliath's character. He values artifacts. There he is, catching one of the things she was tipping over. Elisa and Goliath chase Demona, who's apparently thwarted. Or is she? Two thieves in Ocean's 11 gear drop from the ceiling and cart the mirror off. The one guy on the left doesn't look like he's that cut out to be a cat burglar here. It's hilarious if you think about it. Here the Keystone cops are pounding off after Demona, who's merely skipping away as a distraction. She glides off after clawing up the obelisk in the park. Big guy lets her go. He should really be more worried. She's not usually defeated this easily. And this is why we can't have anything nice. She leaves holes punched in that obelisk. Dracula's daughter meets Oberon's child. At a spooky mansion in the city. Seriously, could be Dracula's. The thieves pull up to the iron gate. Oberon sent me, is the password. Oberon, like in Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream with the Fae? 2020 moment. When I watched this as a kid, I'd already seen The Gathering. It was my first app, remember? So I knew exactly who Oberon was, and Puck. I wish I'd had the surprise of finding out who Owen was after seeing him for the whole series, and Puck for the whole series. Not just Gathering Part 1. The thieves drop the mirror off in exchange for an envelope of, I assume, money. Demona tells them to take it and go. Wow, she's upscale. After being around as long as she has, she's made good use of her experience. She has enough money to buy a place in New York City. I mean, look at this place. She's got trees and a yard and a fountain and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-story mansion. Oh my gosh. There's 4 windows on each of the side, on the long sides, and there's 3 windows on the front narrow side of the building on each level. And live there without having to worry about holding down a day job. Are they dropping off Dalmatians for a fur coat? They've even got that red van, like the van in Dalmatians. In the attic, she has a mirror set up. The mirror. She's monologuing about how her plans are always thwarted. Well, maybe if you made them more Gambit-like and built in some contingencies like Xanatos does, you'd have better luck. It's the complete opposite reaction Xanatos has after his surface-level plans are thwarted by the meddling Gargs. But she's got a spell in mind that will change all this. We've heard that before. Are those spells written in 2-point font or what? Are they just the single Latin line? I mean, there's no, like, directions or preparations involved. Alright, this spell is Cum Aserat Argentum et Aurum Involare Postea Poc ad Speculum Titania Penetrare. She rings a silver bell with a gold ring and blows a feather into the mirror. This is the translation from the Gargoyles fan website. With fire, silver, and gold combined, summon Puck to pass through Titania's mirror. The translators called it really bad Latin and gave the classical Latin, cum ignis, argentum et aurum universis, postulae poc, penetro speculum titania. Green light envelops the mirror. It's a really cool picture because Demona is silhouetted mostly against it. Uh-oh, green light and Disney stuff is bad. Out comes a white-haired Bishonen in a medieval outfit. He's in chains that were around the mirror, and he is pissed. Whoa now, who's this? His elf ears, and he's got really big elf ears, say he isn't human. He's certainly not a willing participant in this endeavor. You are really cutting into his social life, Demono. He's frowning pretty deeply there. At the Batcave, Clock Tower, the Gargs learned Demona still stole the mirror. They then explained to an incredulous Elisa that the artifact is Titania's mirror. Yes, Titania from Midsummer Night's Dream. Brooklyn mentions it. Aha, so he did read about it after his run-in with Macbeth and Enter Macbeth. Well, he read Shakespeare anyway. Nice continuity, writers. Titania is of the third race. Humans, gargoyles, and the Fae, aka dark elves, fairies, Oberon's children. They're pure magic with shape-shifting ability. Yeah, because that doesn't sound like bad news. And there's Elisa, disbelieving. Really, Elisa, you find something hard to believe in this universe? You've already seen magic. Oh, wonderful. Demona now has a being enslaved to her that is pure magic. Alright, let's slow down and look at the Fae. This is a mind-blowing addition to the Gargoyles universe. We've known about magic, but fairies who are actually magical beings are a whole new layer of bad news. Calling them dark elves lets you know they aren't happy little sprites who throw fairy dust and talk in bell tinkling. Well, to be honest, Tinkerbell was no pushover either. Now I'm really interested. Back to Demona and her new friend. He is not happy. What does she want? He demands. Hey, it's Brent Spiner. That's his voice actor. Data from Star Trek Next Generation. He co-stars with Jonathan Frakes and Marina Sirtis. Oh, side note, I did get a chance to meet him at a Star Trek convention. Interestingly enough, he was sitting right next to Jonathan Frakes. I was in the Frakes line for autograph, and Jonathan Frakes is a very nice gentleman, very soft-spoken, just a great guy. Your average neighbor who you'd want to hang out with. Brent Spiner, yeah, we're gonna just move on. You serve the human. Now you serve me. Demona says. Eh? What human? Why haven't we met this human who has a fae at his beck and call? We also wonder why the fae serves a human. That aside, it looks like Demona is sick of partners she can't control. Partners like Xanatos, who is as big a manipulator as she is, if not more so. 2020 moment, / according to Greg. The line was supposed to be, you serve him, but they decided people might interpret that as serving Satan. I don't know. That sounds just dumb. However, saying human leaves more mystery. Could be a guy or a gal. I still don't know how much Demona knows of Xanatos and Owen / Puck's bargain, or how she knows. And the Weird Sisters, maybe? Well, this is Puck. You know, Robin Goodfellow from Midsummer Night's Dream. Nice. Serving humans is fun, he says. So that's why he serves a human. I guess. Demono, though, he says she has no sense of humor. Wait, does he know her? She seems familiar with him, too. Intriguing. Whatever the case, Demona is playing with fire. This is a magical being who is obviously unhappy about his situation and who is mischievous. Anyone who's watched Darby O'Gill and Little People, or even heard one leprechaun story, knows not to trust Faye. Desperate much, Demona? He zips around the room, chains still around him, suddenly quite happy. I really don't know what the role the chains play in this, because they don't seem to stop him much. Maybe they just keep him from disappearing. He's thought of a way to make things fun, I presume. Oh boy. Demona ignores him. She rambles on about not wanting to be stoned in the day. Being a statue makes her vulnerable. You don't say. She sounds like she's stalling. Why? She's been planning this for ages, right? You'd think she'd have her wish thought out and laid down in bullet points. Hopefully with a lawyer to look it over. She'd fit right in, Puck snarks. She would, if not for the humans, she says. Well, there you go. She wants him to get rid of all the humans. Genocide by Fae. Yeah, well, this ain't Aladdin's lamp. He has limits. It would be interesting to know exactly what they are. Puck transforms the mirror into the mirror of Irised, showing Demono what she wants, Goliath. Then Elisa wanders into the shot and leans against her ex-BF. And there's Puck lounging against the mirror. You cannot dislike Puck. You just cannot. Puck thinks it's quaint that she's still carrying a torch for the Goliath. Puck can make this big guy love her again. How would that end? Weirdly, to say the least. Rid me of that human, Demona says. That human or that human? I'll figure it out. This just might be fun after all. Vague questions? Oh, that's a rookie mistake, Demona. These beings are pros at misinterpreting wishes for their own gain. He looks like the poster boy for being up to no good. Puck unleashes his rhyming spell. Thy sight, Demona, doth offend, so Puck will hasten to amend. Begone, Elisa, human born, and be no more as you were formed. And then he lets out a gout of green light from his eyes and his mouth. And we know what green light means in Disney. Change of face. At the clock tower, green light surrounds Elisa. Let me guess, she turns into a gargoyle? Yep. Ha, fun indeed, Puck. I wonder, can he not kill her, or does he just enjoy the game more? He wants to screw with Demona. He's not really a villain here, he's a victim. So, we don't know what he's like on his own, or how he feels about gargoyles. He likes humans, and that we know. Even Elisa's clothes change. Puck is considerate. To put a new spin on things, Elisa thinks Goliath has been turned into a gargoyle. I'm liking Puck's sense of humor. Puck tells Demona that Elisa, the human, is no more. Well, he's not lying. Demona buys it. She wants him to do the same to all the New York City humans. Wow, she wants them all dead, in reality. It's not subtle either. Disney in the 90s was great. I miss it so much. Goliath tries to convince Elisa she's always been a human. He's smart. He cites his saving her when she fell off the Erie building. She just thinks she can't glide with her wings. Puck's magic also blinds common sense, it seems. Nice. Yeah, not the only thing that does that now. Back to our villain and her victim. Puck will need a place to magnify his powers. the top of the World Trade Center works. Oh man, this was back in 1995. 6 years later, those buildings would fall to terrorists. I'll let you figure out who they were. It makes the scene distracting. You can only think about 9/11. Demona and Puck transport through the mirror, landing on the roof of a WTC tower. Convenient. Puck stalls, saying he has to marshal his forces. Demona isn't happy, but what choice does she have? What's coming next is going to be a treat. I wonder if we'll get to see Xanatos as a gargoyle. Now that would be fun. Just out walking her Puck, she's got him on the end of a chain and he's hovering. According to Greg, this episode was originally pretty confusing. The writers tweaked it a lot. Here's the memo Greg sent Bryn, and I just have a link to that. I don't even know if it's still up, but just go look at it. Halftime. Wow, heck of a first half. We have a whole new species in the game, and boy is he powerful. He can change other people's shapes as well as their memories and perception. How powerful is he, though? And what human does he serve? I'm sure we'll find out sometime. How will the Gargoyles defeat this creature of pure magic? The saving grace here is that Puck doesn't like Demona, and he does like humans. It's a fascinating choice for a Fae and a pseudo-antagonist. I'm really liking this guy. He's snarky, smart, and hot. Plus, he's an unknown quantity. Cool. Come back next time for the next half. We'll see just what fun Puck has and how he repays Demona for the night on the town. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to like, share, subscribe, comment here or on the blog, and I'll catch you in the next